Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard about the Occupy ICE movement / protest, where perpetually unemployed youths decide to make lives more inconvenient for the people that secure our borders and try to keep our nation safe, because why not? Now, after a long time, these people have finally been ousted. I think they were out for 7 days. Let me share with you guys some moments from their protest. So here are them showing their appreciation for the people that keep our borders safe.
KKK.
You goddamn fascist!
How you fucking treat women?
You're fucking fascist!
I'm not fucking scared of you, bitch!
Everyone hates you! I hope your whole fucking family hates you! I hope you die alone, cold and scared!
Here's them talking to the people of color who dedicate themselves to keeping our borders safe.
Fucking race traitor piece of shit! You're fucking nigger to the white man!
Yeah, you're a Latino descent, aren't you, you cock smoker? You fucking blood traitor!
And here's some of the more interesting jabs they took at ICE. So let's look at the list of accomplishments these morons have accomplished for themselves. They camped outside ICE, which was, well, I guess they didn't have a job to go to, and they created a mess which the taxpayers paid for to clean up, and of course they made securing our borders a little more difficult, and they were in the faces of people who dedicate their lives to keep us safe. But the list of accomplishments, this really takes the star point for me. This is the effect they had on a business that was operating close by. Just listen to this.
Well, protesters at the Occupy ICE camp are taking aim at a food truck nearby. In fact, owners of that Portland food truck who use their profits to help the homeless say they've had it with the protest across the street, to the point that they're closing up shop and they're selling their cart. Now, to be clear, the protest we're talking about is Occupy ICE. That is the group camped out in front of the Department of Homeland Security building on Southwest Macadam. Owners of the Happy Camper Food and Coffee Bar say they've tried to stay out of conflicts between protesters and federal police, but they say the protesters have threatened them and told them to support their cause or suffer the consequences. Scott and Julie Higgs say it got worse when a federal police officer bought food from the cart, which at the time was being run by their 21-year-old daughter.
Yes, a non-profit food cart that donated its profits to feeding the homeless. They were also the victims of the ICE protest, and to make it worse, these, I don't know what to call them, they were harassing the owner's daughters.
If they catch her outside the cart, they're gonna hurt her. They're constantly cussing at her and screaming at her. You know, she finally had enough. She was finally called me up on the phone, crying. Brianna, shut the doors. We're done.
Now, KGW reached out to the Occupy ICE camp about these accusations. We have not yet received a response. And we've also reached out to Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, who is the police commissioner, and says he's refused to send police down to that area.
So far, list of accomplishments: create a mess that city taxpayers had to clean up, make life more difficult for ICE, drive a well-meaning business out of business that dedicated its profit to feeding the homeless, and probably emotionally scarred the owner's daughter for doing a good deed. Well done, you guys. I really wish you would go to the closest Walmart and drink some bleach.